My name is Faith, as Bill has already said. I am from South Africa in Johannesburg. My experience with PSYCH-K has been a very interesting one. Prior to it, I have always been in personal development from 2015 or so. I think I've always been a seeker of the truth, of knowledge, of understanding how reality works and how things actually get to transpire, So prior to doing PSYCH-K, I was doing various courses. I've been exposed to various modalities that I was focused on. Mainly I was focused on, trying to change my limiting beliefs, through various techniques that I was doing. And one day I listened to Bruce Lipton when he was talking about how to rewire your subconscious mind. There was one particular video on YouTube that I listened to, and he mentioned energy psychology. He said it's one of the first modalities that is currently being used, and he referred us to his website to check various modalities, and as he was saying that, he explained that he used PSYCH-K, which was one of the energy psychology modalities that he mentions or talks about on his website. So I actually went to his website, went through many of them or various methods that he listed there. I was particularly interested on the one that he used, which was PSYCH-K. I did not know what it was. I just heard the name, did not know what it stands for and what so on, So what I did was actually copy the word PSYCH-K and I went to YouTube. When I got to YouTube, I got various videos. So I checked them. Some of the videos were very short. So there was one video where I actually saw you or found you and you were being interviewed about PSYCH-K. And I listened to that video, And as I was listening to it, it started to resonate with me, the things that you were mentioning on that video, and I kept listening to it. I found you to be interesting based on the story that you were telling, your own experience, your own journey with PSYCH-K. From there, I got your website. I followed the website. I did not even waste time. I immediately requested or booked a call with you. And yeah, that was just about it, how I actually found you. My experience with PSYCH-K, my first session with you when I did PSYCH-K, even though I still did not understand what it was, what was all happening, I followed your instructions. You obviously explained what PSYCH-K is, how it works, and you created a conducive environment, for me to relax and experience the PSYCH-K. It was mind-blowing. The first session was just mind-blowing. I remember just after the first session, I felt so high. I felt like, I took something. I felt like I was literally flying, So it was amazing. It was amazing because I have never felt that way before, especially internally, The times when I felt that way, or at least closer to that way, was when maybe something is happening outside and I'm excited. And it was a feeling that would just last for a couple of minutes or even few hours or so, So with that one, it was different. I did few balances with you and I felt an inner shift. I did not understand what was happening. All I knew was that I felt like I'm floating, and I remember sharing it with you the next day that something is happening to me, and I kept telling people that I think it feels like I took something, it's like I smoked something, So it was very interesting. I enjoyed the first session. I felt the shift internally and I could feel my energy shifting. I felt that it felt like I shifted from a certain energy, or like I took off some bags, it's like I was carrying something heavy, and the first session it felt like a relief, when you are relieved, it felt that way. My main focus was on my self-esteem, which I enjoyed more than anything. Obviously I came with a goal. I was working on my business goal that I was focused on, which is something that I shared with you as my goal. You led me to working on my self-esteem, before I could focus on what I wanted, which for me became a win. because I could feel that I feel worthy of the goal that I want, or that I'm working towards. I focused on self-love, which is things that I was not working on. I was always focused on, this is what I want. I either want to get a house or want to get myself a car, whatever the case might be. But when I focused on my self-esteem, I felt confidence when I was busy doing PSYCH-K. I felt worthy. Believe it or not, I felt worthy of actually existing, of being here, and being comfortable in myself, in my skin. There were just too many things that were happening, a lot of internal changes that was happening, as far as my inner being, my insights. But confidence was one of the things that I appreciated, because when I started feeling confident, I saw myself taking actions on the things that I wanted. I started seeing profitability, in trading. I started to have, in fact, more opportunities, more business opportunities. I started to network with more people. Remember, now I feel confident, to do these things. I think sometimes what makes it a bit difficult is that we want to understand how it works. And when you check it on YouTube, you don't get a lot of information on how it works. You are told of what it is, because it is actually a practical modality. It's not something that is theoretical first, for you to get manuals and understand it. It's actually balances where you are doing in a safer space with a practitioner or a coach. So I would say to people that have interest in exploring this, especially people who are committed, to the transformation, to say, give it a try, book your session, and just take a first session and see how it goes for you. But I know based on the results that I got, that even though I did not understand it, it did not make sense to my logical mind what this whole thing was, but it made sense as I was doing it. I felt a shift inside more than anything, more than any program that I have ever done. I've worked, it's like an affirmation accelerator of some sort. I was doing PSYCH-K, I did not have to do a whole lot of repetition of those statements. I did couple of important balances, and I felt good. And I think this is what everyone wants. People wants to feel better about themselves. People wants to feel confident. People wants to feel seen, and they want to feel that they belong. And these are some of the results that I got, and these are intangible results that I appreciate more than the physical results that I got. And I got to actually realize that it is within that creates the without, because of how I was feeling and my journey with PSYCH-K internally. I saw things moving as a result of me shifting internally. So I would recommend it to anyone. Even if you are skeptical, we're still in 5 cents, we're still in 3D. The mind wants to understand everything. But just have faith. Just have faith that you'll experience a transformation. Just have faith in what Bruce Lipton is saying. I mean, the guy has got results, to show that, and he explains it what it is. I bought his faith actually, because I've been following him. I understand his journey, and he was sharing how he actually improved his life using PSYCH-K. So I bought his faith getting into PSYCH-K, and I'm glad that I did. Like I said, I felt better in one session. I felt better in one session, but I did not do only one session. I understand and I appreciate that transformation is a journey. I think when I was doing self-esteem, for me, a minimum of 6 sessions would be enough. Would be a good start for anyone, especially when you are working on your self-esteem. But in terms of the energetic shift, it's immediate. My first balance after doing that, I felt high, I felt so good, But when I did it repeatedly, that's when I started to feel confident. But not just feeling like I'm just floating and that's it. I felt confident, and I was actually seeing it happening even when I was at work and at the office and still doing my business stuff. And I have people saying, "Oh, you're confident. You're doing all things that I've been saying. I'll do them sometime. I'll do them because I now have confidence in myself." So I think a minimum of 6 sessions. That is just my opinion, but yeah.